In today's episode, we're going to be reading some Am I the A-hole and also some entitled people. If you enjoy the episodes, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe if you want to. And also, I need to show you guys something. I got a life-size 1:1 scale Pikachu, and I don't know if you can tell in the photo how big it is, but it's pretty big. It's sitting on the desk with me at the moment while I make this episode, just supplying the good vibes. I don't know why I bought it, but I felt like I had to. And I also felt like I had to share that with you guys. Okay, onto the episode. Enjoy, guys. Am I the a-hole for laughing in my cousin's face when she tried to stage an intervention for my drug use? I, 27 male, have a condition which causes me to overproduce earwax. I don't tell people about it because I was bullied for it growing up. Only my wife and my parents know. Every other day I have to put medication in each ear, let it sit, and then flush it out with a rubber tip syringe. This prevents ear infections, vertigo, permanent hearing loss, and worsening of my tinnitus. I have dealt with all of these things to some extent, so I do stay on top of my eardrop regimen. If my alarm goes off when I'm with others, I go to the bathroom for 20 minutes and knock it out. If I don't follow my schedule, I forget, so I can't put it off. So people are thinking that you have an alarm that goes off on your phone to tell you to go do drugs in the bathroom or something? Oh my god, that's so funny. Surely not. Like, that would be a bit obvious, wouldn't it? 2 weeks ago, my mum hosted family dinner. My cousin Cara, 37 female, saw me waltz off to the bathroom to do my thing, syringe in hand, and asked me what I was doing. I said just a minor medical thing. She kept on pushing, but I didn't want to say anything because she gossips. Oh, of course she does. Now she's making up that you're a drug addict. I told her it's personal and I scooted past. When I left, she was standing in the hallway. She asked me what took so long and why the toilet didn't flush. I said none of her business. She said she didn't mean to offend. Last weekend, my friend called me to invite me out to lunch with some buddies. He said to meet up at his house so we wouldn't have to drive separately. I arrived at his house to find Cara and my friend sitting solemnly on the couch. Cara said that they were here to talk about my problem and that they just wanted to help. I said there is no problem. Suddenly, it clicked in my head what this was about. I couldn't help but laugh a little bit out of shock. She asked me what was so funny, and I said, first of all, why didn't you talk to my wife or my parents? She said that she didn't want to involve my enablers, which just made me laugh even harder. She looked annoyed and said that she was done trying to help. I said that's alright by me, and she stormed out. I explained to my friends. They knew that I have a condition, but they never pressed me on it. I guess when Cara approached them, they thought that I was lying or something. Obviously, I'd rather they know than worry about me being an addict when I'm not. I thanked them for their support anyway. Cara had apparently reached out to all of my friends by social media. We all got a good hearty laugh out of it, which Cara must have heard because she was, of course, eavesdropping. She burst back in and told me to tell them the truth, to which I said I did. My friend kicked her out. We went for lunch and I thought that was that. Oh god, Cara needs to learn to mind her own business. That's Cara's issue. My mum called me yesterday and told me that she had talked to Cara about the whole thing and explained. She said that Cara was very upset with me and essentially called me an a-hole for not explaining and laughing in her face and embarrassing her. I said that I was embarrassed and that Cara had no right to my information. I think that she shouldn't go around snooping and making assumptions. My mum still thinks I should apologize. No, you definitely should not apologize, OP. What the hell have you done wrong? And you're right, that is embarrassing for you. Edit to add, she didn't see my alarm go off, just ran into me on her way from the kitchen. I feel bad for laughing, but that's so funny. No, you're not the a-hole, OP. Cara needs to mind her own business. You're 100% right. Obviously, Cara loves drama and stuff like that, and even you said that she's a gossip. She wanted there to be drama where there wasn't any drama. That's so wild. You don't owe her an apology, OP. Yeah, completely the top comment. Not the a-hole. She owes you a major apology, as her spreading untrue information about a possible drug addiction could have caused you to be harmed. What if somebody shared this information with your employer or something? Depending on your profession and your employer, you could have been suspended or lost your job. Yeah, but no, you're the a-hole, OP, and you need to apologize. No chance, Cara. That's so whack, and you're definitely not in the wrong, OP. The comment under that says not the a-hole, rather obviously. I'll refrain from waxing poetic, but you have every right to be irritated about somebody prying into a medical condition that you'd prefer to keep private. Okay, so first of all, good comment, and also beautiful pun. But yeah, that's 100% right. Cara realized why she probably shouldn't jump to assumptions, because she made a fool out of herself, and now she's directing that anger towards you, OP, when you didn't do bloody anything. Yeah, the comment under that, not the a-hole obviously. Kara made a complete fool out of herself. You didn't have to help at all. Seriously, who says this person went into the bathroom for a mysterious reason once that I know about? They must have a drug problem. And then to stage an intervention, wow. Yeah, that's kind of scary how hard Kara can assume stuff. Like, that's a huge jump to make. The comment under that says, no, not the a-hole, no apology needed. I would have laughed my ass off too. She took a small thing that was none of her business and then inflated it into a big production that is now all about her hurt feelings. Dramatic much? Yeah, and that's such a good point too. Sorry, I'm going on about this. OP said that Kara was really gossipy. Kara then tried to make an issue that didn't exist because she probably loves drama. She gets told that that isn't true and she's making stuff up and jumping to assumptions. Now she's making even more unnecessary drama. Like, now she's making it into an unnecessary issue where she feels like you need to apologize to her. Yeah, don't even entertain that, OP. You're so not the a-hole. Post number 2. Am I the a-hole for ordering pizza at my friend's wedding because there was no food? Wow, that's one hell of a title. Me and my wife were invited to my friend's wedding. The wedding was going to have about 70 people, mainly family. When we got there, we were seated at a table with some other people. Nice people, and we mingled well and we had a good time chatting. The wedding was also quite nice. Both my friend and his new wife were very happy. After the ceremony, every table got 2 bottles of wine, bread and butter, and there was also an open bar, so we started to have a few drinks. Then the food came out and it looked really good. The food was set up for a buffet. I was half buzzed and I was looking forward to getting some food in my belly. When it was time to eat, every few tables at a time were going to get cold, which was fine. The first few tables that were cold were understandably the family of both sides. Then the rest were cold. The problem was that the family members, his in-laws, are larger people. Now, I don't shame people for how much they eat, but I noticed the helpings of food they had while I was patiently waiting for us to be cold. I also noticed that they went for seconds before all the tables were cold and nobody stopped them. I didn't say anything, though I thought that was rude. I just assumed that there was just a lot of food. To my surprise, by the time we were cold, there was nothing left. I asked if there was more coming out, and apparently that already occurred. So we grabbed the little that we could and we went to sit back down and ate the scraps. We were all still pretty hungry and a bit pissed off, so we kind of bash talked the first few tables that ate all the food. Somebody mentioned that they could go for some pizza, and then I had the drunken idea of ordering some, so that's what we did. We all pitched in and we ordered 4 large pizzas and some chicken wings from a local pizza joint. It was pretty close to the venue, so it didn't take long to be delivered. I met the guy outside and I brought the food to our table and we started to eat. Some of the other tables noticed and asked where the pizza came from. Apparently some of the other tables close to ours didn't get any food either, so we shared it with them. This caused a bit of commotion because other people were looking for and asking the wedding party if there was pizza available. I guess there were others that didn't get to eat either. We did share with anybody who asked us. My friend came to talk to me about why I ordered food. His bride was not happy about it. It ruined the aesthetics, so I told him that we didn't get to eat and that the food ran out long before our table was cold and we were really hungry. He then asked me why we didn't just step out and eat and then come back. Though annoyed about that, I respectively explained to him that we were all drinking on an empty stomach and that it probably wasn't the best idea to have drunk people walking around looking for food. I don't think he liked that, but he went back to his bride who was glaring at us. Like, what were we supposed to do, starve? This wasn't the end though. As we were finishing eating, one of the in-laws came to our table and asked where the pizza came from. This is where I may be the gay hole. There were 2 slices left and I knew that he was eyeing them. I asked the other people at my table if they wanted one. Everybody declined. This guy then said he'd have one. I then took them and I put them on my plate and started to eat them. Then looked at him and said something like, no, you and everybody at your table had way more than your fair share of the buffet and ate all of it. This is the reason that we ordered food in the first place, and now you have the nerve to ask us to share? His face went red and he returned to his table. There were a lot of discussion going on there. They were all looking back at us with daggers. The bride looked even more ticked off at us. She had a bit of an argument with my friend. He eventually came back to tell us that we had to leave. I didn't mean to start any problems, so me and my wife called a cab and left. He called me a few days after and we had a long talk about it. I explained my perspective and he agreed that his in-laws were really rude for eating all of the food and leaving most of the other guests with very little. A lot of people actually complained to him about it. Everybody was drinking, thinking that there was going to be food, and they were disappointed. He was upset with his in-laws because he told them how many guests there were going to be and to order the food for that many people. He also saw how much they were taking but assumed that they ordered enough, and he was wrong. He brought it up with his wife and she said that apparently because the in-laws paid for the alcohol and the food, they felt entitled to eat what they wanted. She was really mad at them and reamed them out for tainting her special day. He also said that a lot of the other non-family guests started to leave after we left because they were too hungry. They still had fun celebrating, but it did kind of put a downer on their special day. Out of about 70 people, there were 30 left. I also found out that guy that came to our table was his father-in-law. Father-in-law was really embarrassed by what I said to him. He felt pretty bad when he found out close to half the guests didn't get anything to eat and left early. So am I the gay hole? Wow, that's so unfortunate. It's the fault of the in-laws though. Like what, half of the people there didn't get any food? Like that's a pretty huge mess up. And like the top comment says, I can't believe the father-in-law asked for pizza, lol. The second top comment says, no, for a wedding buffet, always order more than what's needed. The in-laws are the a-holes. You could have handled it better with the pizza, but half of the freaking people there didn't get food. That sounds like more than a big people got seconds problem. The comment under that one says, yeah, this sounds less like a they got seconds problem and more of a they didn't order enough food for the catering problem. No matter how big the family is, getting seconds shouldn't mean that 30 out of 70 people don't get fed. I'm guessing they cheaped out on catering and hoped for the best, and then the natural consequences of their actions came along. And the comment under that says, to me, it sounds like a selfish in-laws issue. They paid for the food and the drinks and they felt entitled to gorge themselves. They knew all the tables hadn't been cold, yet instead of waiting for everybody to get a first serving, they went up for seconds. Even after multiple helpings, the father-in-law couldn't wait until the event was over to go top up elsewhere. He had to go ask OP for food after being told why pizza was ordered. Father-in-law couldn't have kept his mouth shut, but instead chose to throw OP under the bus. In-laws knew that they caused the problem, yet not a single one offered OP an apology, just the evil eye. Unless I skipped over some part, there wasn't a single mention of an apology forthcoming from any one of the in-laws to any of the unfed guests. I've ordered food for a few Indian weddings, all buffet style. From what I understand, the customer says something like, there are so-and-so number of guests that we need to feed, so the caterer roughly estimates the quantities of the food selected based on that information. There likely was sufficient food made for all the guests plus a little extra, but there was no way the caterer could anticipate that half of the guests would be eating for two. But I totally agree, the in-laws could have cheaped out and been hoping for the best. Yeah, that's so frustrating, and of course you don't want something like this to happen on your wedding day, but it's not like everybody was eating and everybody was happy and OP just decides to cause a scene by getting pizza delivered. No, like half of the people there didn't get any food. Yeah, so the in-laws were in control of getting the food, and not only did they get not enough, but they ate all of it. They're the a-hole, OP. The next one is an update to a post that we read called, Am I the a-hole for ruining my own gender reveal party? I read that one a few episodes ago. I'll play that post right now before the update, just so that it makes a little bit more sense. So skip to this time on the screen for the update, guys. Am I the a-hole for ruining my own gender reveal party? I'm pregnant with a baby boy due in November. My fiance and I didn't care much about the sex of our child, so we didn't make too much noise about it once we found out. The only people we told were our parents, their partners, and our siblings. Prior to this, my father's girlfriend of 3 years had been asking me about my plans for a gender reveal party. I've always been clear about not wanting one. When I announced my son's gender to them, she expressed disappointment that I hadn't changed my mind about a party. Wow, it's not up to them. I don't like gender reveals, I never have and I never will. I prefer baby showers, which I think feel more about the actual child. I never tried to hide that opinion either. Days later, my father's girlfriend invited me over for tea at their apartment. My dad was out of town. When I got there, about a dozen people popped out of hiding to surprise me. There were pink and blue decorations everywhere, which made what was going on pretty clear. As I stood there in shock, my father's girlfriend excitedly told me that they were throwing me a surprise gender reveal party. Since I'd already told her, she had taken it upon herself to order a cake with colourful frosting and decorate the apartment and invite a bunch of people over. The guests included her mother, who I don't get along with, some of her friends, my mother-in-law, not my mum, and 4 of my friends. As I later found out, my mother-in-law and friends had been told that I'd changed my mind about gender reveals. I had not. Still in the doorway, I looked over at everybody and I said, it's a boy. You guys can go home now. I left without looking back. Hell yeah, OP. Hours later, my father called me furious that I'd ruined the party. He said his girlfriend had put a lot of effort, money, and love into planning it. I should have shown some respect and some gratitude for it. Apparently, she hadn't stopped crying since I left. It's been almost a week and they're both still upset. Even after I explained I never wanted that party, they're insisting I could have sucked it up for an hour or at least cut the cake. Am I the a-hole? No, I don't feel like you're the a-hole, OP. That's disrespectful as. Yeah, this comment, you're not the a-hole. You made yourself very clear in how you felt about gender reveal parties. Your dad's girlfriend completely and deliberately disregarded that and disrespected you. He said that his girlfriend had put a lot of effort, money, and love into planning it, and I should have shown respect and gratitude for it. So sorry the party that she planned for herself was ruined. Maybe she should have gone a step further and not even invited you, since the party was all about what she wanted. Update, am I the a-hole for ruining my own gender reveal party? Thank you for all your replies, especially those who called me the a-hole for having a gender reveal. I am assuming that you didn't read my post, but you still cracked me up. All jokes aside, I've been expected to be a pushover for most of my life. Older daughter of divorced parents, so it was good to know that I was right to stand my ground on this issue. After reading your comments, I've concluded that the only thing I did wrong was leaving without talking to my friends and my mother-in-law. They were lied to and put in an awkward position after I left. I did talk to them the next day and I apologized, but I wish I had told them what was going on. A few days ago, my fiance and I invited my father and his girlfriend over. I told them I was extremely upset with them both, but I wanted wanted to sort this out peacefully. We still ended up fighting. My father agreed with some points I made, but kept insisting that I was ungrateful and I owed his girlfriend an apology. She was quiet at first, but started crying about 20 minutes into the fight. My father's girlfriend said that she threw the party because she cared about me and that she would have wanted one if she was pregnant. Yeah, that's the indicator right there. She would have wanted one. It was about her, not you, OP. She started talking about all the gender reveal videos that she watched on TikTok and how happy the parents looked in them. She told me that she genuinely thought that I'd love it and couldn't understand why I'd been so rude to her. To my surprise, my fiance was the first to snap at that. He is usually the calm one. He told her to stop calling it my party since she clearly threw it for herself. I had expressed countless times that I didn't want a gender reveal and I was well within my rights to leave when she tried to ambush me with one. Yeah, absolutely OP's fiance. The fight didn't go on for much longer after that. Near its end, my father asked me why I hadn't at least played along for a while. I told him I went there expecting to spend an hour with somebody that I've been meaning to get to know better, not to spend my entire afternoon entertaining a dozen people, more than half of whom I either didn't know or didn't like, who got together to talk about my child's privates. I didn't mean to upset anybody, but I had to get out. My father didn't argue with that. There were two main pieces of advice from your comments that I decided to follow. The first was to tell my father's girlfriend that she needed to apologize to my friends and my mother-in-law for lying to them. She agreed and they later confirmed that she did. Secondly, neither of them will be allowed to meet my son at the hospital when he's born. My father had been looking forward to this, so that wasn't an easy decision, but I made it clear that it was final. My father called me the next day to apologize for everything, and I forgave him. I don't expect an apology from his girlfriend, but I'm done feeding that fire. My life is stressful enough as it is. My son's going to be here in November. He already has a name, and we've just started working on his nursery. I truly can't wait to meet him. Yeah, good job, OP. It sounds like you handled that super well. Like this comment says, I find this weird. Not from you, but from your father and your girlfriend, who somehow expected you to like what they surprised you with, even though you expressly stated that you didn't want one. It sounds like they had a specific idea and they ran with it while refusing to listen to anybody else. At least it's sorted. Yeah, and also this comment. I'm glad the talk went as well as it could. I'm proud of you for standing up for the child, even before he's born. Yeah, good job, OP. Post number 4 is on the entitled people subreddit. I can't wait to read about some entitled people. A lady wants my rollator. For those that don't know, a rollator is pretty much a walker on wheels. I had a stroke 6 years ago and my balance and my vision got messed up. I can walk maybe 20 to 25 feet on a flat surface without help, but I need my rollator to take long walks and take it with me whenever I go somewhere. I normally have weekly groceries delivered to me at my apartment, but every month or 6 weeks, depending on schedules, my mum will take me to a specialty grocery store where I can get a lot of pre-packaged meals that I just have to put in the microwave for a while. We were on one of these trips waiting in line at the checkout. The rollator that insurance covers was a piece of cheap white plastic, so last Christmas my mum bought me one that's black steel and titanium composition. It also has a pouch on the back for storing things, and when I need a break I can lock the wheels up, and it has a fold-out bench I can sit on. So while my groceries were being checked out, I folded the bench and I sat down waiting. When we were done, I got up and unlocked the wheels while my mum rolled out my cart of groceries. I'd barely gotten 5 feet when a lady walked up and grabbed my rollator saying, "I'll take this." Wow, what? I said no, and I jerked it away from her, and I proceeded to follow my mum out to the parking lot. Usually my mum will load the groceries in the car while I leave the rollator on the side and then walk my way to the passenger seat. After loading the groceries, my mum collapses the rollator and puts it on top of the groceries. This lady followed us out to the car and was waiting there tapping her foot while we loaded the groceries. Oh, she thinks it belongs to the shop or something. I didn't trust her, so I just stood there holding the rollator. My mum said, "Go ahead, get in, it's unlocked," and I just shook my head no and tried to subtly point at the lady as to why I wasn't getting in. My mum understood and finished the groceries. When she was done, she came up to me and folded down the rollator while I walked to the passenger side door. Mum folded down the rollator, put it on top of the bags in the car, and was shutting the door when the lady started shrieking about how we were stealing store property. I don't know if somebody got him or what, but a manager type came out and asked what was going on. The lady was screaming about how we were stealing the rollator and she needed to use it. The manager asked my mum about it and she said that it was mine, and even showed him the plugs bolted on that had my name, emergency contacts, and my medications in the schedule that I was on in case I needed them. The lady kept on screaming that she needed it now that we were done. The manager told her that it was mine. It had information on it that was pertained only to me, and that if she did needed help, they could find her a mobility scooter or something. She didn't take this and suddenly went from shrieking harpy to sweet old lady saying, well, maybe she could leave it here, and then maybe I could use it and leave it when I'm done for them to come back and get. The manager then asked, would that be okay with you? And my mum, knowing that we'd never see it again, said that we couldn't. We had other places to go where I was going to need it. The lady began screaming again while we just drove off. I don't know how it ended up for the manager, but I hope he survived it. Wow, that's unbelievable. So after they found out that it was yours and it wasn't store property, I'm guessing they were like embarrassed or something and then then turned angry, or like even more angry. The top comment says the manager was completely out of line for not shutting that down immediately. And OP said he kind of had an exasperated, I don't want to deal with this tone in his voice. Yeah, that's right though. The manager shouldn't have even entertained it. Like, no, that's not going to be happening, and you can stop screaming at everybody. That's so awful though. Why are people like this? Story number 5 is also on Entitled People. Woman tries to guilt my family into giving her a seat that we reserved. Once I was at a parade in my city. My entire extended family was there, so think about 15 people total. My grandpa had reserved some seats for all of us. We get there and a woman and her kid were sitting in 2 of them. My grandpa told her that we reserved them. She looked at her daughter and says, well, I guess we better give him his seats. Probably expecting us to feel bad and say, no, it's okay. We didn't though. Instead, our group just stared until she got up with her kid and left. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, that would be awesome actually. Please leave. Yeah, the top comment. I love when they try the passive aggressive, well, I guess we have to, and start moving slow and acting sad. Perfect opportunity to go, great, thank you for understanding. Yeah, that's so funny. Good job, OP. And that's enough for today. That was such a beautiful episode. I have a super cute, wholesome meme to show you guys before I go. It's so adorable, I have to show you guys. There was a guy doing the aeroplane with his daughter on the beach, and my dad asked if he could try. Oh my god. Oh, that's so cute. That could be the best thing I've ever seen. Look at that beautiful moment that your dad's never gonna forget, and also the other dad's never gonna forget it either. Such a beautiful, wholesome moment. Yeah, I couldn't get over how awesome that is. Okay, I'm out of here. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time today. And if you did, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell and all that YouTube stuff. And the comment of the day today, goes to Alicia. I got a new kitten and his name is Pants. He's grey and has lighter grey markings. Oh, Pants. That's so beautiful. That's such incredible news, and I really appreciate you putting that in the comment section. Hell yeah, somebody got a new cat. Like, any day that you're getting a new kitten is definitely a good day. Say hello to Pants for me. Also, that's an awesome name for a kitten, by the way. And thank you for the support. And thank you all for the support, guys. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!